at one point in our lives as individuals or as a state or as a nation, we go through difficult times and we feel like giving up. We feel like the only choice we have is to admit that we have no choice. But I've come here tonight with a different message for you. And that message is for you to hold on. 'Cause even if it seems like there's no way, say don't give up on God anyway. 'Cause the night shall soon be dawn, when the Lord shall say it is done. Say the night shall soon be done. Say hold on just a little more. Say hold on just a little longer. 'Cause God is always here to hear your prayers. I said, hold on just a little. Because God is always here to hear your prayers. Because being born out of wedlock into a family with nothing as good as bad luck is such dead luck. Trust me, it's hard as trying to use a comb the size of a toothbrush to straighten up a madman's dreadlocks. You see, this ain't just any story where I say once upon a time and expect you not to think twice before you cry. It's a message, so listen. You see, it's been exactly 9 months now, and of course, today marks the graduation time from this pod into the world, and that marked the day that suffering was placed into our taste buds. You see, like every normal baby, she cried at first, but the future was certain it definitely wasn't the last. With her tender eyes closed, all she could hear was the voices of happy pretense coupled with the squeak of a rat. The heat of the kerosene lantern pointed on her face was just the beginning of her trouble, and the stench of this dirty wrapper she was wrapped in made her tender stomach rumble like the rings of Royal Rumble. She eagerly expected from her mother 1,000 kisses, but all she could hear was the faint voice of her mother making 1,000,000 more wishes. And it was from that moment she started feeling dejected, like she was the very old queen of witches. You see, she wasn't just a fruit of her mother's womb, she was a fruit of her parents' fornication. And her world was like a sealed tomb. Trust me, this ain't no exaggeration. She was graciously beautiful, and this made her the perfect princess of bastards. And trust me, that hurt, because her mother had never been called a bride. She has forcefully bonded her parents together and made them a complete family where eating twice a day was pride. They knew nothing about balanced diet. They only knew how to balance hunger. And this house or thing they lived in looks as old as Methuselah's mother if she were to still be alive. You see, 6 years later, it got better when mother gave birth to another, and then another. Twins. You know what they say, right? Double wahala for dead body, or in this case soon go be dead body, because 5 years later my mother come from where she go hog granite, one oversized trailer, crush her like walnut, grind her to pieces like grated carrot. The children's heart was shattered. Adesua and her siblings cried hard, but instead daddy started to drink hard, embrace his calling as a drunkard, because trust me, he drank hard and made everything hard. He became an untamed beast, rehearsing his punching skills on her with his alcohol-infested feast, living now with natural big black eyes like that of Kim Kardashian. All hell broke loose into a place that was already hell. Even the devil walked in and said, "This place rings a bell." Daddy left the house that night, but didn't come back the next night or even the night after. So automatically the new daddy and mommy of the family was now Adesua. She was the first child of the family, so she had no choice other than being strong, wearing that fake smile on her face that wrote, "There is nothing wrong." She would go to sleep late at night, wake up when it's barely bright, roam the streets with a tray of granules, run into every customer in sight. She enrolled herself and her siblings in the best of the government schools. She bought the cheapest of only the necessary tools. In the morning she went to school, and in the evening she gets back and lives to hawk, not caring if she looks cool. She was determined to become a medical doctor. She wasn't seeing any impossibility, and her siblings relied on her without showing any sign of curiosity. She might have been called a dirty low class, but she was the top of her class. She came at the best in the street. She was quite a geek, never scared of that monster that students call mass. But she grew, and then these tips were no longer enough. Angry and frustrated, she thought that was where she missed it. She began to question God and ask him questions like, why did mommy have to die? Why did daddy have to leave without any reason, even as good as a lie? Why do I have to suffer this much? Why is it that I have no reasons to smile or blush? These were the questions the devil kept popping into her mind as she roamed the streets of GRA, when she bumped into these half-naked ladies on the straight line like agents of CIA. They looked exactly like what they were, 11 prostitutes. She sat on the corner and watched them as though she was the 12th substitute. She saw guys picking them up the way she's always wished her daddy would come pick her up from school. And with the makeup on their faces, she could tell that making money was their only rule. She walked towards one of the girls who was about her age, hoping she doesn't boil with rage. "Excuse me, sister, my name is Adesua." And this naked weapon looked at her and said, "You're my namesake, boo." You see, after a little chit chat, Adesua politely asked, "Don't you think what you guys are doing isn't right?" "No," she replied. "There is nothing wrong with choosing what you have to get what you want." Even though the person that was saying she had looked as dry and as hard as a mop with a face, her body looking as shapeless as a shoe without a lace. A divided mind devoid of patience, still thought, "Ever since I've waited on God, no good luck has come out of being patient." No offense to the Jonathans, you see. The next night was what Adesu attacked. Action time. She made her siblings go to sleep, left the house on those worn-out heels, straight to the junction, staggering like a robot on reverse malfunction, and the shape of her asset left on the customer's heart a volcanic eruption. Congratulations to her. She was now the new face of prostitution, you see. Like a vampire, she roamed the streets at night. But unlike a vampire, she didn't feed on, but she was fed on. Her very essence drained, her pride stripped off like a soldier who committed treason. And all she could say was that she had a good reason for this sin. That same reason that made her to continue satisfying men's taste like she's nothing but seasoning. That same reason that soon made her to start reducing. And after all the sexing came the next thing. On this fateful night, Adesu were packaged. But the difference for this particular package be say young Adesu were packaged for this 65-year-old man we don't pack age. And this man was an ATM of both money and HIV, and Adesu ended up withdrawing both. You see, it was too late for her to withdraw because she already withdrew, and barely a week after she found out she was nothing but an hellspawn waiting to be hellbound, a strange car drove into the compound, and behold, the sight of the person that stepped his foot on the sand made Adesua's heart pound. It was her daddy. Daddy had gotten a good job from a man who picked him up from the bar where he would drown himself in the wine of depression. You see, he had become a changed person because God has handed on his hands his family's redemption, but too late for Adesua. She already fell for the devil's seduction. You see, I didn't come here tonight to tell you a sad story. I came here tonight to tell you that you and I, that we serve a mighty God. The God who sits in the heavens and makes the earth his footstool. I came to tell you that we serve a mighty God. A God who is clothed with light and wears glory as his uniform. I came to tell you that we serve a mighty God. The God who made the heavens and the earth. I came to tell you that our God is mighty. He made the world so big, like it was so very simple. So simple to the point that it didn't even need a sample. Very simple to him, but to men it's a pretty big riddle. Like, how did they make the sky so high without pillars, without letting it crumble? And how did they in a day create a tremendous number of animals, some fierce and others very gentle? How did they make the great and mighty sun in the sky, like all it did was light a candle? How does it make the world go round so easily, like all it did is rock a cradle? I came to tell you that you serve a mighty God, that your problem is too small. I came to tell you that if he could create the sun, then your problem is not hot enough. I came to tell you that you serve a God who is called God because he alone is God. I came to tell you to hold on to this God because he will never let you down. I came to tell you to hold on to this God because he's going to come through for you. I came to tell you to hold on to God. Please, I beg of you, hold on to God. Thank you.